Hey guys, how much do you have to pay for a used Taycan these days? The answer is not very much at all. In fact, this one here coming in at just under £28,000. It is the only one I can see that is under that 30k price point. And would I buy this one? Absolutely no way. It's at 92,000 miles. That is only 8,000 miles away from being out of battery warranty, and that is not a good position to be in for a Taycan. And I still don't see there is any way you can extend the battery warranty through Porsche. Yes, you can extend the vehicle warranty, but I understand if the battery warranty has expired, the battery is out of warranty, whether the vehicle is in warranty or not. Will this change in the future? Will there be something that is offered to allow you to do this? I'm not sure, but we will see. Fingers crossed that there is, because I think there needs to be. Now, don't worry about your battery losing its capacity over time, because these things, people have done some analysis, some folk out there have done some tracking of the battery, and after 100,000 miles, we're only talking a capacity loss in the high single digits over time. So these things really do hold their capacity pretty well over time. What I would be worried about though is the battery going wrong, a module failing. We know that Taycans are not immune from this at all. And yes, it is a real risk. But check this out. If we push that 30k up to 50k, we are now looking at 217 Taycans available for sale. That is so much choice. There is so much choice out there right now if you're looking at a used Taycan, and at a price point that becomes very, very attractive. Now, Taycans depreciate a little bit faster than the drop at Thorpe Park's Hyperia roller coaster, but it really does level out quite significantly. It really does tail off. A huge initial drop and then levels out. And we're starting to see a lot of Taycans floating around this wonderful 50k mark that will not lose that much more over time, provided of course you're getting one with low miles, and I would look for the lowest mileage possible just to ensure you're nicely within that battery warranty. Don't forget, it's not just 100,000 miles, it's 8 years as well. Still got quite a way to go on some of those Taycans, but definitely don't be going near one that is starting to push higher mileage and potentially hitting being out of battery warranty. That is not where you want to be. So what do you look at around this kind of 50k mark? We have to discuss where Taycans are at right now, just in terms of how well they're doing given all of the fixes and improvements that have been kind of baked into the car through software updates, recalls, etc. Now, I do have to say it is not uncommon for brand new cars that come to market to have issues. You do see it with McLaren, and there was a really good post on IG that I saw the other day from CVK, an absolute legend in the car world, of course, and he was discussing problems that the earlier versions of some of his cars, like the Agera or the Jesko, had. And they're improved through continuous updates. So even multi-million-dollar hypercars have issues, have teething issues that are resolved by manufacturers over time. And that's cool. I think people are all right with that. You know, I always say, cars do go wrong. It's what the folk who provide you with those cars, the suppliers, the dealers, the garages, the developers, the manufacturers do to put things right that makes a difference. If you feel like you're being well looked after, even when things are going wrong, it's all good. I do appreciate things to go wrong, and the Taycan is absolutely no exception. That was really a massive shift for Porsche, coming forward with a battery vehicle. You know, this is Porsche coming forward with a battery vehicle, the likes of which we had never seen before, and it is a good platform. It really is a great platform. It is in a place now, I think, with the continuous improvements that it has experienced and been baked into it by Porsche, it is genuinely looking a lot more solid. Now, for sure, if your car has an inherent or a latent battery issue that is yet to surface, you could potentially lose a module or two in your ownership experience. But the hope is now, because all these Taycans have this battery monitoring software on them and Porsche are proactively looking for battery module failures, the whole fleet, the whole platform, the whole Taycan market should be in a much better place. At least that's my thinking anyway. And this comes back to the CVK video. Over time, the platform improves and the whole Taycan experience should become a better one for those that want to get on the used bandwagon. So Taycans now are very, very cheap, and I'm still looking here at Gen 2. Gen 2s are falling rapidly, much more rapidly than Gen 1s, of course. That is because Gen 2s are still newer, so they're hitting that steep part of the depreciation curve right now. And I have to call out this one example here, which is actually looking quite tempting. Now, there's not a lot of Gen 2 Turbo S's out there, and that is because Porsche just are not making as many new Taycans as they were. They could not print these things fast enough. Early 2020s, coming out of COVID, demand was high. They were, can you believe it, they were going for overs Taycans, but not anymore. These things have come right back down to normality, and of course, demand has really tapered off for these cars. So you're just not seeing as many new Gen 2s in the market, I think, as you were seeing Gen 1s coming to market when they were rolling off the production line as quickly as they were back then. And this specific Turbo S here has really taken a big depreciation hit. Not just that, it's been sat on the forecourts for coming up to a year already. In that time, it has lost a massive, well, nearly £40,000 here, £37,345 to be precise. So this is a self-negotiating car that is bringing itself down in price so that you don't have to, and you can walk in there and probably really haggle, maybe even a better deal than what it is up for now. And that car, Gen 2 Turbo S, is up for £117,500. And I think if it doesn't sell in another year's time, it's probably going to be sat there around £70,000 to £80,000 potentially. I think this is a real possibility. It's only got 3,000 miles on it. So it's just going to depreciate more and more until somebody eventually snaps it up. The Gen 2 platform is a wonderful thing. You just get much more bang for buck, better range, better power. It is an absolute no-brainer. And I've got my eye on Gen 2s like a hawk, because I still may pull the trigger on one of these at some point soon, because I do love the platform. I really do enjoy the platform. And don't forget, if you're enjoying this, please do kindly consider a sub. It's just one click and it really helps the channel out. Thank you so much. So how much do you have to spend for a Taycan? To sum up in this video, well, I would say right now you're getting a good one for between £40,000 to £50,000. There is a lot of choice out there. And if you think about the amount of car you are getting for between £40,000 and £50,000, finding one that suits your spec, the right power, balance of mileage, etc. Consider how many miles you're going to be putting on it. If it's not a lot, maybe you can go on with slightly higher miles to get yourself a better deal. If you are going to be putting a lot of miles on it, go lower. Of course, choose your spec, choose your colour, choose your powertrain as well. A lot of choice out there, ready for the taking. And there are even Gen 1 Turbo S's floating around at that price at the moment, admittedly with higher mileage. And I would still be wary of a Gen 1 Turbo S. I really would, because as I've said before in previous videos, I don't think the battery platform is up to reliably providing enough power for the powertrain without putting itself under undue stress and failing. This is just my thoughts. Not proven, not backed up by any engineers, but just sort of anecdotal evidence I've seen out there, other people's feedback, other people having issues with their car. Turbo S's do seem to be a little bit cursed, those Gen 1 Turbo S's. So that is it for this one. You don't have to spend a lot. I would still thoroughly recommend this. You're getting a lot of car for your money right now. Sure, it's in warranty. Have a great time. That's it for this one. Do stay safe, stay well. See you in the next one, and bye for now.